What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because Disney Plus has uploaded the 8th episode of the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and today we'll be taking a look at episode 8, Together Again. So episode 8 is the final episode of this 4-episode story arc that involves Ahsoka, Trace, and Rafa, and the story immediately picks up right after last week's episode where the 3 girls are locked up in a holding cell by the Pike Syndicate. But as it turns out, not only does Rafa not trust Ahsoka at this point, but she's also beginning to question Trace's loyalties as well. Which I found very interesting because when you look back at these last 4 episodes, you really see how the relationship between these 3 characters has changed. At first, Trace would often look the other way whenever Rafa made shady deals behind her back, but once Ahsoka came along, she became a little bit more responsible than her sister. However, in this episode, you do get to see basically how Trace is not willing to fully trust Ahsoka because Ahsoka has been holding back so many secrets from her. For Rafa, once Ahsoka came into the picture, she was able to tolerate her from time and time again, but as we went into a few more episodes, you could see how Rafa would question Ahsoka for almost anything she ever did or say. But in this episode, you can see how Rafa is beginning to question her own sister, and you can feel the tension between them. However, there is some positive growth in this episode because you get to see how these 2 sisters have gotten smarter when it comes to making decisions, and they are not as reckless as they were as opposed to when we first met them in episode 4. And as for Ahsoka, well, the truth finally comes out, and after this little adventure these 3 characters have been through, Ahsoka's secret is finally revealed to the Martez sisters. Now for me, I was expecting to see some fallout between Ahsoka, Trace, and Rafa, but because we're on a tight schedule, the 3 of them were only able to have a small little petty argument after they found out that Ahsoka was once a Jedi, just before they have to escape from the bad guys. So while I wanted to see some real drama, I can understand why this moment was a bit rushed because by the end of the episode, we immediately transition into the Mandalore arc. Also, I was very excited when this episode did a Solo reference. It's not something as big as the Millennium Falcon, but if you remember some of the names of certain groups from that movie, you'll get a good kick out of this. So overall, I really enjoy this episode. Not only does it have some action and humor, but you also get to see how much the Martez sisters have grown, and I really hope we get to see them somewhere in the final episodes of this series. Which reminds me, we only have 4 more episodes left of this final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. In the words of Doctor Strange, we're in the endgame now. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. That was my overall review of episode 8 of the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. If you like what you saw, click on the subscribe button so you can get all these updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.